Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jasmine, part of the Eternal Circle. I'm also known as the Psychic Mummy. I'm here to discuss about preparedness, discussing about belief, fear, all very important things to talk about, especially when you're starting off on your spiritual journey. So, when we talk about beliefs, there's a lot of things that we think about beforehand in our lives that we have beliefs about. Okay, like ghosts don't exist, psychics aren't real, you can't tell anything by reading cards. Okay, healing energy doesn't exist. There's no such thing as energy. There's no such thing as spirit guides. Okay, these beliefs that you have prior, well, welcome to the rude awakening of, oh crap, it's real. Some of the beliefs that you have will probably not change. Most of them will. And that's what happens when we start figuring out our spirit paths. I know that for some of us, fear holds us back. The thing about fear is that we need to analyze it. We need to compute it. We need to be comfortable with it. Having fear of the unknown, fear of ghosts, fear of negative entities, fear of knowing things at a time, fear of seeing, fear of hearing. Okay, so clairvoyance, clairaudience, things like that. All I can say about the fear is that you need to write down those fear points. Okay, ask yourself, why are you fearful of these? What is it to be fearful of? What is there to be fearful of? Okay, and then from there you do research. Find yourself some good sources. Find yourself some people to talk with. People that have gone through experiences. People that have gone through experiences differently. There's a lot of us out there. It's just that we experience things differently than, say, another person. We're all individuals, right? So how I perceive something might be different than, say, someone else. Okay? There's lots of bloggers out there. There is a lot of information on the internet. There is books upon books. Okay? There are classes. So if you really want to learn, okay, about why you have these fears, start with, well, why am I fearful of, say, clairvoyance? Why are you fearful of it? Is it the fact that being able to see is making you fearful, or is it because you're afraid of actually seeing something right in front of your face? Okay, most people prefer that they see things in their mind. A lot of people don't deal with seeing things one-on-one. So seeing, say, a past one, or a ghost, depending on how do you define it, okay, a spirit entity. Most people won't see them from their face because they're not comfortable with it. Most of them will see them in their mind's eye because it's more comfortable. Doesn't make it less real, just makes it more comfortable for that person. So that's where the research comes in. Once you have research that resonates for you, okay, this is a key point, okay, because research that needs to resonate for you. Okay, I say that because there is tons of different viewpoints, tons of different research, people saying this and that and the other, and it can be darn confusing. So I'm going to tell you this now, you need to pick through all of it and find the pieces that work for you. Okay? Certainly not all I'm going to say is going to resonate for you. And certainly not all of what this person is going to say is going to resonate for you, or that person is going to resonate for you. You have to pick and pick and pick and pick and pick, okay? Until you find the right information that you are looking for, okay? That's what you have to do, okay? When we look at, say, other kinds of beliefs, such as religious beliefs, okay, there's quite a few of you that have gone through this, and I've spoken to quite a few who have, okay, have walked a very religious line and have suddenly been shaken and awakened, okay? There is nothing wrong with that. You seeing, hearing, dealing with energies, there is nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? How I view it is that God, our Creator, has decided it's time for this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Wake up. We need you. Okay? They've picked you for a reason. They have given you these gifts for a reason. Okay? This reason is to help not only yourself, but others around you. Whether or not you feel like you're up for that task is solely up to you. But it is very, very possible to live hand in hand with both religion and the spiritual walk of things. That is very possible to maintain. Trust me, I have one in my house. I have been with him for over 10 years. Okay? So, believe me when I say this. You are not a sinner. What you are experiencing is not evil. Okay? So you need to let go of that negativity. What you are experiencing is because the fact is that they chose you. Or God has chosen you for a purpose, for a reason. And it's just so much as finding your way now. Alright? We have all been given purposes and reasons. Every biblical text states that. Okay? Sure, it might not look kindly to those who have clairaudience, clairsentience, who might read cards, who might believe in reincarnation. But truly, love everybody, love your neighbor, love thyself. So really, realistically, God is asking to outlove everyone and loving everyone for their differences and their uniqueness. So that puts you there too. Doesn't make you bad. Doesn't make you evil. Trust me, I've had a sheer boatload of people saying that I'm evil. I'm not evil. Definitely not. Because I know that my intent and I know that my connection is true. And I'm doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing. And that work is to look after everybody. Whoever comes into my door, whoever comes into my energy, I'm there to help them. I'm there to assist them. That's what I'm here to do. So I will do it in any form that I can to assist them. Alright? So you need to start thinking about what beliefs and what fears you need to look at. What beliefs need to change, what fears need to change. Because beliefs and fears will hold you back from spiritually moving forward, from spiritually progressing from believing in what you are capable of, from believing in what you can do. It's very important. Alright? As far as teachers go, okay, 3 sources of teachers. Okay, the first one is a teacher. And I'm talking about people that teaches classes and people that, do blog posts and forms of teaching. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. But for me, it's not from an ego perspective. For me, it's because of the fact that people deserve to have this knowledge. Knowledge is out there. You can go get it from, say, the Akashic Records if you wanted to. Or you could just simply sit down and listen and share information and experiences and grow from there. In order to pick a teacher, you need to find a teacher that your energy will mesh with. Okay? That you can tolerate learning from. If you pick a teacher that, say, your energy does not mesh with and that you think you cannot tolerate, you are not going to learn anything from them because you will be constantly battling them. And that teacher might just turn you away. Okay, to save their own energy from being drained. So, with that being said, you need to find a teacher that resonates for you as well. Just like finding information out on the internet. Okay? So when you find a teacher, you want to find a teacher that is going to be teaching you the things that you need to learn or the things that you have interest in, because the teacher is not going to teach you something that they don't know about. Okay? They're not going to teach you something that they have no clue what you're talking about. Okay? They're there to teach subject A, B, and C, maybe D. But they're not going to teach you all this other stuff that you're wondering about. They might be able to give you bits and pieces here and there, little bits of information, but more than likely they'll be like, sorry, I can't help you. Okay? So, don't expect to go to a class or a teacher with different intentions or different learning curves that you want to learn from this particular teacher, especially if they're not going to be gearing that information towards what you're wanting from them. So you need to find a teacher that is compatible with the information that you're seeking. Okay? Or else it's not going to work. You're talking about water, they're talking about fire. No, that's not going to work, right? The other thing is that you can't constantly be at your teacher either. So you can't be constantly chattering at them. Okay? Your teacher also does have a life. Your teacher also has a family, friends, needs time for downtime, just like you do. So if you continue to be at them, you're draining from them. Okay? And at that point, they either kind of go along with it so that they don't hurt you, or they'll just cut the cord and be like, sorry, I'm done teaching you. So I'm giving you the straight up, that's just how it is. Okay? You can have multiple teachers, but the difference is that not every teacher is going to have the same perspective. Not every teacher is going to have the same experiences. And not every teacher is going to view things the same way or give you the same tools. So keep that in mind when you go and seek guidance from a teacher. Okay? The second teacher is, we're talking about divine energy, spirit guides, meditation, travels, astral travel, okay, dream interpretations, that stuff. Okay? That's the spirit side of the work. Okay? We're no longer talking about physical teachers. We're talking about spiritual teachers. So we've got our spirit guides, we got our spirit animals, we have, even interestingly enough, different etheric beings that we run into while we're on meditations or dreams, astral travels, what have you. And we run into them, and sometimes when we run into them, we gather information from these people, or we gather trinkets, objects that we take with us mundanely, or we leave it with us in our spirit pocket. Okay? Sometimes these trinkets show up mundanely at the side of the road, which is odd, but it does happen once in a while. It's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I know where you came from. I've had that happen a couple times, which has been interesting enough to say. But that's another form of teachings, okay? It's a little bit harder to bring back that information, okay? You need to be, if you're going through, like, say, a meditative state, trance state, what have you, okay, you want to be able to tell your spirit body to be able to pass that information back to your physical body, so that way you can perhaps journal at least a few lines before your brain forgets it. It's very difficult to bring back the information, especially if you are more prone to dream travel or astral travel while you sleep versus, say, meditation. Some people aren't able to meditate, and that's completely fine. It just happens. But other people have no problem with dream traveling. They have no problem with astral traveling, like, because of the fact that by that point they're so exhausted, that they're so relaxed, that they have no problem going over any blockages or issues like that. But with meditation, there's still that physicalness there. They can still sense it, so it's a little bit more harder for them to kind of leave. So that's the second way of learning, okay? Out there's a lot of information, right? I brought up the Akashic Records. Okay, the Akashic Records is like this big library. There are a lot of different... There's another few books out there that I've run into about the Akashic Records. I'm not going to comment. I haven't read them, to be honest. I don't want to. I have no interest to read them. I know where it is out there. So if I want to go get information from the Akashic Records, I'll just go out there and get it myself. I don't need to read a book about it. The Akashic Records is basically one big, huge library full of different books, subtexts, different languages. Each book can be transformed into a different language depending on the volume that you're seeking. Okay? Basically, in a nutshell. And there's more than one Akashic Record. Alright? Let's just be honest there. The third one, I guess there's actually four. So the third one, okay, would be your internet notes, your bloggers, okay, actually meeting up with someone physical who also works on the spiritual path and swapping information, experiences, or doing experiments with, okay, those are another way of learning, okay. The last one, which is the fourth one, brain fog, the last one is yourself, okay, which is the most important thing. Yourself. You yourself is one of the biggest teachers, okay? Who's doing the journey anyways? Certainly not Bob. You are, right? So, with that being said, remember the value of yourself, okay? Your experiences and your journey is your own. You do not need to have anybody's validations. You don't need to hear anybody's judgments, because what you experience is individual and unique to you. Period. Okay? As brash as I'm sounding right now, I am saying this so that way I can be clear cut. Because I have seen so many people being like, oh, but is this the way to do it, or this the way to do it? I'm going to tell you no, okay? There are many different ways of doing things. You will find your own way of doing it, okay? People that have been working on stuff a little bit longer will be like, well, I do it this way, maybe try it that way, okay? But you do not need someone going, "Oh, why are you doing it that way? You shouldn't do it that way. You should be doing it this way." If someone talks to you like that, tell them to go fly a kite. Seriously. Alright? So, that being said, the self. You are your own teacher. The experiments that you do, the meditations that you do, the research that you do, the work that you put in. You are learning and you are teaching yourself. You are your own teacher. Let that sink in. Right? Now, growing up, I was lucky enough to have great people around me give me great information and knowledge. Okay? I hadn't touched a book since probably my late 20s. Okay? Because from that point to that point, I was learning by myself. I was journeying for myself, by myself. Okay? There are a lot of aspects that I still do my work by myself. I'll pick up a book out of interest and read it and go, "Ooh, yeah, that's interesting. Keep that in my pocket." But I don't rely on them. Because I know that I have to rely on myself when it comes to doing any sort of energy work. I have to rely on myself when it comes to doing readings, channeling. Okay? I need to be able to trust in myself. And if I have everybody else's interpretations coming at me going blah, 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 I need to be like, no. Because that's not how I do it. Right? And that's what I mean by looking at your sources and your information. Okay? You have to find something that resonates for you. Pick through it. Choose it wisely. It's the same said with teachers. Choose it wisely. Choose them wisely. Listen to what you need. Move on. So that was my little talk about preparedness, about fears, beliefs, and about teachers. And this is all very, very important things to listen to and to learn about, especially when you start. I know it's really beginner stuff for some of you, but for some of you out there, I think it's important that you hear this, because I don't think there's a lot of people talking about it. Okay. Take care of yourselves. And remember, you don't need anybody else's validation except yours.